All right, it is 7 p.m. on Tuesday, May 14th, 2019. We're going to open the regular board meeting. If you would do a roll call, please.
Trustees William Luxinger,
Here.
Jen Christensen,
Here.
Jared Doan,
Here.
Bill Motisi,
Here.
Dina Simpson, here, Jason Grimes.
Here.
Village President Rick Worm,
Here.
Village Treasurer Brenda Ognebini,
Here.
Village Clerk Sandy Moslin here, Village Attorney David Silverman,
Here.
Public Works Supervisor Brett Fergie,
Here.
Park Supervisor Kenny Lamer.
Here.
All right, if you would please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Would you please read the consent agenda items?
Yep, up for approval on the consent agenda tonight. Number 1 is the April 9th, 2019 regular board minutes. Number 2 is the bills payable warrant list dated May 14th, 2019. That does include all the prepaid bills, direct bills, etc. Number 3 is resolution number 19-27, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of fireworks display contract service agreement to engage services from RKM Fireworks as vendor and display operator. Number 4 is resolution number 19-28, a resolution accepting temporary construction easements in certain real property at 744 Golden Prairie Drive and 1123 Frosty Morning Drive. And number 5 is the award of bid for 2019 microsurfacing project to AC Pavement Striping in the amount of $111,480.28.
At this time, does any board member wish to pull an item from the consent agenda for further discussion? Okay. Entertain a motion.
I move to place agenda items 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 inclusively as consent agenda items. Further, I move that all items be considered together as the consent agenda.
Second.
William makes a motion that items 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 be placed together inclusively as a consent agenda. Jared seconds. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Jen?
Yes.
Jared?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Dina?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Motion passes at 7:03. Adoption?
I move to adopt items 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 inclusively on the consent agenda in a single group pursuant to the omnibus vote procedures specified in the Illinois Municipal Code.
Second.
William makes a motion to adopt items 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 inclusively on the consent agenda in a single group pursuant to the omnibus vote procedures specified in the Illinois Municipal Code. Jared seconds. Is there any discussion? I hear you. Roll call, please.
Jared?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Dina?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Motion passes at 7:04. We're not doing that till later. Let's get the other business done first. Next item is swearing in new trustees.
No, I thought it was, water bill drawing.
We're
I'm sorry.
gonna put that until later, Bill.
Oh, okay.
All right. Join me in the office.
Yeah, that's right. I sneak out the door.
No sneaking out. We have pizza and cupcakes, so no sneaking out. Bill, are you staying? If you could just can you spare a couple seconds?
No.
All right.
Um,
Please send this to him.
Whoever sits here, I warmed up the seat for him.
Did you want to
Yep.
Did you want to down? Those down.
All right. So we do have one piece of business first, dated yesterday, 5/13/19. It says, President Worm, effective 5/13/19, I, John Talbot, resigned from the Davis Junction Planning and Zoning Commission. Thank you for your time. Signed, John Talbot. So we will have an opening on the Planning and Zoning Commission. Anybody out there wants to join, give us a call.
I can swear them all in.
Mm-hmm.
If William, John, and Chris wanna just come stand down here, I'm gonna swear you all in at once. I know you're all comfy with your seats. Do you mind turning the microphone on for me, Doja?
Swear in or swear at, either way.
All right, if all you wanna raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, William Lexington,
Having been elected to the office
have been elected to the office
of village trustee in the village of Davis Junction,
of village trustee in the village of Davis Junction,
county of Ogle,
county of Ogle,
state of Illinois,
state of Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of village trustee
the duties of the office of village trustee
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, and all three of you will just stop here.
One at a time. Congratulations again. John?
Congratulations, John.
Oh,
Chris?
Chris is after his pen.
Congratulations. Welcome.
Jason, this makes me very sad.
Yes, Jason.
Please pass this down to William, please. These are certificates of from the county. I'll let you two decide who's
They get
getting
nicer every year.
Thank you.
Paper shuffle.
Yep.
We'll put this, oops, sorry. This is your stuff.
What was the one you sent me the other day? Like,
No, this is yours? Everyone I got here. Oh, that's right.
there you are.
Oh, no.
Here.
Where are you? You guys go on a diet if you can't get through it under normal.
I like that. That's where we're going.
Let's throw some of this.
Now you get to play with electronics for days.
That's
Yep.
petty cash.
Thank you.
All right.
Let me pass that down to John.
Next item on the agenda is the committee appointments. We'll do that, and then we'll jump back to the water bill drawing. So after talking to everybody,
Do I have to make this a recommendation? Or is this just the way it is?
No, it's actually you,
all right.
you said it.
So, we are keeping Dina in utilities. William will stay in finance. We are dropping the, community improvement. It's being dissolved. Jen is going to head a new committee, which we're going to call Community Development and Events. Brenda's not a trustee anymore, even though I keep thinking she is. Chris is gonna take over streets and ditches. John is going to take over parks. And Jared is staying in ordinance enforcement. So we will have those new committee assignments on the next meeting.
Yep.
I hope you studied, because you got a report tonight.
Sure, no problem. I'll think of something.
So we are actually getting rid of two, we're getting rid of, public health and safety as well. So that committee will go away. And then that will move to the water bill. That's where Jason's stuck. Why mix them up? Because you don't know where they are anyway.
Right.
Just put it back.
Did you want to say anything, Jason?
Yep, at the end.
At the end.
Okay, wasn't sure.
That's why he's sticking around.
Got it.
Oh, there you go. 1111 Depot Street is the winner.
Pretty sure that's it.
No, it's not. It's an old one.
Phone working?
I'm aware.
Oh.
Okay, they sold water bill.
Illegal home occupation?
Wait a
All right.
All right.
Quit it.
Move on. Do you have anything tonight?
I do, actually. So for everybody, the email has been switched over on the server. It's been a little frustrating. Next week, though, at 6 o'clock, Chris will be here. So please bring, Chris Volk, the IT guy, will be here. So bring your phones, your laptops, come early to the meeting, and he will be here to get everybody programmed and up to date and set to go. So, and then, just as a reminder, I will be at a conference next week, so Jess will be clerking.
she'll do fine.
She always does.
Brenda?
In your packet is the treasurer's report for April, and it's also the end of the fiscal year. So, if you have any questions, just let me know. But that's the final numbers for the year.
Does anybody have any questions?
Scroll up one. No, the other way. Never mind.
That's all I have.
I did create the charts that you had requested. I apparently failed to put them in the packet, so I'll work on that for the next meeting.
But it appears we ended in the black.
Yes?
We did.
Outstanding.
Do you want to announce by how much?
From this, it appears $524,835.73.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Last year, we budgeted an income of just over 4.7 million, and we actually brought in a little over 5. Our expenditures were 5.27 million, and we spent 4.5. So we under budgeted and underspent.
Excellent. Do you have anything, David?
No report, just want to welcome William back to the board, John back to the board, and Chris, welcome.
All right, we'll move on to committees. Community Improvement, Finance.
I believe Dan was supposed to talk about the sickage, so unless you want to. You're
Well,
above
you guys there's been a lot of email traffic about this, so is everyone comfortable with?
I haven't seen it. No email
Oh,
traffic in a
because
week.
you haven't, if you want to hold off one meeting and then, you have it now though, right?
Yes.
It's in the board packet.
Yes.
Okay. So you can hold off on approving that.
Okay. I did talk to Dan last Friday, and he said for the most part, everything is good to go with the legal side of it, but
Yeah.
I haven't reviewed it.
What, is that for 5 years? The legal
No.
side, too?
No, according to Dan, it is only a year contract, and they only gave us the year, they gave the 1-year price is at the 5-year rate. So they didn't break it down and lock us into, the 2-year with the remaining 3-year option. They just gave us the 5-year pricing up front, but it is only 1-year commitment, so.
So just for the record, this company we're talking about is to do our audit.
And Sickich, for those who aren't familiar with them, are very well known in the local government community. They handle a lot of different governments that we represent and governments across the state, so.
Including our neighbor,
mhm.
represents Stillman as well.
And
I'm
could-
fine with pushing it.
Okay,
Put it on the committee for
Okay.
next week's, for the
Yep.
review
members
it.
to review. And I don't believe I have any emergency expenditures.
You do not.
I do not.
All right, we'll move on to ordinance enforcement.
Nothing at this time.
Parks?
Nothing tonight, Rick.
Right back in it.
Yeah.
Mike, John.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was
Jen, do you have anything for parks?
professionally delivered.
I don't think so. Kenny, do you have anything?
Okay.
Now we're kinda starting to get stuff done, catching up on mowing. Obviously, everything's, been a little wet, but, new development, it kinda gets released at the end of the season, but next week on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, we'll be hosting the IHSA Regional Softball, qualifiers, so that's kind of exciting. So we should have a lot of traffic through here next week, and along with that, we're starting our games for our youth program next week also, so,
Okay. A lot of change.
yes. Lots of change.
Streets?
Yeah. Did you ever set up a meeting, or did they schedule a meeting for the,
Nobody's had email in a week.
oh,
I did not have email.
all right. You did.
And nobody else. We're working on it.
So we are waiting for Matt Hanson to get here. He does have something proposed to us for the, water main, south.
I have it. That's not coming.
Yes, he is.
There was a change?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He'll be here in 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
So we may have a little delay here, and we'll take a recess. Utilities.
That's what Matt's coming for. Matt is coming to discuss this,
Actually, I'm
so.
gonna pass it out.
Yeah,
for
that'd be
live
great.
reading. There's one for everybody, but, David.
You got mine.
That's mine.
I gave away a
Don't put it
copy
over
earlier,
here.
so it made me a copy short.
Less reading the better.
Well, let's move on to economic development. Anybody have anything on that?
Do we know anything more about Tim Hayden's thing going on?
Are you answering that, or am I?
I can.
All right.
Please do.
Well, some say three's a charm. Yeah, he still has issues with his application. He is resistant to our recommendations on, getting a land use attorney to help him with what is actually somewhat of an involved project, given the mixed-use nature of it, and how we'd like it to go through a plan development process. So, it's a journey with Tim.
Yes, we actually have, another application quasi-pending and a third one on its way, and the last two are gonna be for residential solar though. So planning and zoning will be busy with that soon.
We do have something we can talk about in the meantime. It's not on the agenda, so we really can't make any action on it, but we can talk about it. Verizon's deadline for their equipment is coming up May 23rd. They're asking us to kind of review it and see if they're asking for a 90-day extension to finalize.
To finalize what we talked about when they came to chat with us about what they were gonna be getting back to us, that part? Or am I?
Dan does not say in that, he just said they're asking you to review their progress and consider a 90-day extension to finalize the resolution, so I'm assuming that's on their end.
Somebody's phone's working.
Well, it sounds like it's gonna be a response, trying to get back from, it took 18 months to get a response back from them, now they want 90 days, are they gonna want another 90 days after that?
It's within your discretion at this stage.
It is, so it's just, it does say that the attorneys do agree with the extension request. So it's something we can discuss,
I do as well. I mean, as long as they're working towards a resolution and they're willing to pay for our legal and engineering work still.
Do you have anything more on it?
Nothing more on Verizon, but I did want, there's one date you guys should be aware of from the economic development front. The ICSC Chicago Deal Making Show will be Wednesday, October 16th and Thursday, October 17th at Navy Pier.
William?
I'm writing it down.
I don't get to volunteer anymore, but I figure I'd still toss it out there.
When does IML this year?
September.
It's a Wednesday, Thursday this year?
Is it?
ICSC is usually Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday's the bigger day of the two.
If you choose to attend that, William, our information is severely outdated.
Yeah, I'm letting you know now in case there's things you do want to update, put together property information from Jeremiah or anything like that.
If there's, if that's something we want to do again, and I'm not opposed to going, but there's some things that I would suggest that we put together that we could do it internally, but we'd have to get some equipment to do it and stuff. We have to put some work together before we commit to doing it. Last time, for those who don't know, when I went, this is the conference that I actually was able to meet Dollar General and
With all the
Dollar
developers.
Family
Family
Dollar
Dollar.
or Dollar Tree was on one. We were negotiating with two businesses at once, and this is where I secured Dollar General from, this conference. But we also, we put some legwork into it, and I think we made like 50 or 100 thumb drives with demographic data, property, specifications, and I handed them out to many businesses. It produced a couple of phone calls, and obviously we secured a business out of it, but.
I still have a lot of the thumb drives left, but if we do it in-house, we could just redo it. They're very fancy, they'll give you the junction on the
Well, I'm not, like, volunteering you, but since it's, I am volunteering you, I guess.
I read between.
I guess I am volunteering you, but I mean, in all honesty, I mean, it's kind of how everything is taking its course. It's gonna be the only way that we're gonna be able to keep on growing in that respect. That's just my opinion.
What's that?
At least you're not spending $60,000.
No.
Right.
No. Me personally, if I were to do it again, thumb drives are the way to go. I've heard from a number of businesses and some of the conferences I've gone to, the days of giving them a spiral binder are gone. At the end of the conference, they end up in the dumpsters. Businesses aren't walking out with stacks of binders anymore. They want the thumb drives. And what I would propose is, I'd say we get a drone and we can fly over our property and do videos, and put it on that way with GIS, data, videos, photos, and specs that way.
And your incentives.
What's that?
And your incentives.
Right.
Would you be targeting a certain business? Is there?
Yes. It's a double-edged conference. It's developers and businesses. So it's developers that are looking to build strip malls, that already have connections with certain types of businesses. And then there's also businesses that are looking to build on ideal locations. So it's twofold, but, obviously our research is quite old now, I think, but, I believe what the residents still want is some sort of a grocery store, more fuel.
Competitive fuel.
Yeah, that'd be my target. A lower level, like a Sullivan's or, Cacciatore, what are they called now?
County Market.
County Market type level.
Smaller chain.
Correct.
Not
And
necessarily
then-
lower level.
And then a fuel station, some sort of along those lines. That'd be my target, but, I was just handing out thumb drives last time and talking to people, so.
So then do we have to, like, when you go, the way we are built up or not built up, do you simply really have to go after the developers then? If they're-
Yes and no, because when I went after Dollar General and I think it was Family Dollar at the time.
Yeah, 'cause they merged.
They have their own developer, which is what they did here. So we went after the business,
Okay.
and, they said, we want to be in this location, and all they did was they just contracted down to their developer, which was, Osage Industries out of Missouri, if I remember right.
STL Equities, but yeah, right.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
So technically,
You could do
Dollar
either
Gen-
way then.
technically Dollar General doesn't own that building. It's their developer does, and they lease it back to Dollar General. That's just the business model that particular franchise
Okay.
has. So I'm not opposed to doing it again. If we do, that would be the avenue that I'd like to approach it by, so.
I think that's the only way that we're gonna grow right now.
I'll look into it more.
We gotta get it out there. We can move to public. We can always revisit public after Matt speaks too. Anybody? Want to do it now?
Sure.
All
Have
right.
a burn-in time?
Yep.
Sure. You wanna go down?
Sure.
I'll flip the microphone around for you.
Yeah, we need to do that. We don't want to stand right in the middle of the room.
Is the mic on?
It was, John, I turned it on before.
Is it green?
Yeah, I turned it
Then
on.
it's on. Nope, it's on. Yes, he would like that.
Yeah.
For all your service on the board, we got you something.
Stop sign.
fun you had. All these great phone calls of people screaming at you and about their driveways and the roads and the potholes and the sinkholes. And thank you very much for your service.
Oh, it's a street sign, isn't
Don't ruin it, John.
Let me
Yes.
see. Let me see.
Well, it's fine.
it? Very nice.
10 years.
Very nice.
Let me see, Jason. Oh, that's awesome.
I like that.
Thank you, Jason.
You will be
come
missed,
with its
sir.
own road?
Don't be a stranger.
Are we gonna plow that road, Fergie? Another road to plow.
I was gonna say, if we dedicate a road.
That's awesome.
And we have cupcakes for you.
Yeah.
For you and Bill, but Bill left.
More for Jason.
That's awesome.
Something, Chris.
Yeah, chuck it and see what happens.
It's an Apple device, it doesn't matter.
Nice.
Strong.
I might need a
Every
power
day,
off
I wanna
power
throw
on.
mine against the wall.
You're not a fan.
Anybody have anything while we're waiting?
Oh, I have something.
Go right
So,
ahead.
and this is just informational, so like, I talked to Fergie last week, so we're doing a Careers on Wheels or Not, educational program tomorrow. And so, we recruited, Fergie, and then he in turn recruited Rex, and so they're gonna bring the Kenworth out, right? So we're gonna have a ton of kids, like 325 kids out learning about careers that, you know, we're always talking about college and career ready, but we really, a lot of times focus on the college ready, and sometimes we forget that there is a trajectory for having a career in other areas. And if kids don't know about those areas, they don't know how to go about learning. So we are having DJs coming with the Kenworth and Blade on, and so they're going to learn about what they do and the things that, because the kids, they're 8, 9, and 10. So when they see those big plows or the huge trucks come by, they're fascinated by that stuff. So we've got them, and we've got local fire departments, we've got REACT helicopter, we've got a lot of stuff coming, and so they're going to be part of it. So I'm super proud of the fact that we're being part of that.
Fergie, that is right up your alley. You
Yeah.
are so excited for that.
We could have.
That's my pathetic
That's
where Rex is going.
Not so much.
I'm excited, and kids are excited. So,
Well, what's beautiful is if you go, you'll have a trustee there that can speak for you.
yeah, he's not going to go. I was a little disappointed, but I'm happy that he got it worked out for me.
Hmm?
It's okay though. It's going to be fine.
Former village manager.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Stop it.
It's,
I guess
Probably
while we're
DC.
waiting to, so
Probably
I know I got a few
corporation.
of you connected your emails in this building, but when you leave and go home if you have problems, please call or text me.
I probably will.
Yeah, call or text me.
Okay.
I'm trying to navigate everybody to get them working until we get Chris here next week.
I was going to try to add it, but when you said Chris is
Mhm.
coming, I'm like, I'll just wait till Chris gets here next
Yeah.
week to add it.
Yeah, you can continue using the web browser access for now.
No problem.
And those of you signing up, let me know when you have problems.
And just to let everybody know, tonight, I'll be starting spraying, all the acreage for weeds and stuff, so if anybody were to call and say somebody's driving through the middle of the park at 1 or 2 in the morning, just know that it's me out there and probably not a car driving through the park.
E.T. is phoned home tonight.
There he is.
Hey, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Go ahead, my chin.
You need a mic. Before you get too comfy.
Wait, you can't sit down.
We're waiting.
You're
Yep.
Yeah,
we've been
talking about anything we can think of.
It's all good.
Everybody has got this in front of them.
Okay.
You can go with the save the best for last.
Okay. We had our bid opening today for the water main extension on 251. Unfortunately, the bids came in over budget. The low bid was Stenstrom Excavating and Blacktop Group at $269,961.80. They were $62,431.80 over our estimate of $207,530. If you take a look in your handout, Try to get the page here, excuse me. And it looks like this.
The last page of your handout.
That's what we call the bid tabulation, so, this is all the individual bid items, so the left-hand column are the individual items that they bid on. For instance, item one was the water main 12-inch diameter board, water main 6-inch, steel casing pipe 20-inch diameter board, and then we have quantities for each one of those bid items. And then they provide us with the unit prices, so, you can see the column that says engineer's estimate, those were my unit prices, and projected cost for each one, and then you can see the individual, contractors. We did have 4 contractors that bid: Stenstrom, Northern Illinois Service out of Rockford, Martin and Company out of Oregon, and Archon Construction out of Addison, which, we had them on a sub on one job, but, it wasn't the greatest, but, the biggest difference really when you look down all of them, the overage is really all in the water main 12-inch diameter board. The other items, if you go down through them, some of them are just a little bit under, some a little bit over, but when you take a look at the difference between our estimate and the, 4 contractors, for the least of 3 low ones, it looks like the majority of it, of the overage is in the water main 12-inch diameter board cost. So if we take a look at the project budget, if we flip back to page, I think it'll be page 2.
Thank you.
Bottom of page 2, there's a section called Project Budget. What I did there was I just kind of summarized the project cost. I had it in construction, contingency, engineering, geotechnical, and total project cost, and I did a base bid and a base bid plus alternate bid. And then below that, I put in the project funding. Our really 3 funding sources is the DCO grant, Scandia's portion of what they were willing to pay for, and then the village's portion. So on the base bid, our total project cost is just under $300,000, and the way it breaks out is $100,000 in DCO. Scandia would be $43,424.55, and village would be at $156,465.45. And then the base bid plus the alternate, that was just under $350,000. And basically the DCO and Scandia stays the same, and then the village would go up to $206,172.45. As far as options, I was kind of gone today. Corey did the bid opening for me. I have sent an email off before I came up here to Doug Curry with Stenstrom just to see, if open cutting this work would be a cheaper alternative. If we did, more than likely, at a minimum, we'd probably have to get a temporary construction easement from Rolling Meadows, or even better yet would be to put the water main totally, some of it is still on Rolling Meadows property until we can work our way out to the right-of-way, but basically, possibly going right behind the right-of-way all the way up to that entrance into Rolling Meadows. And then from there on down in the additive alternate portion of it, I think we'd probably need to move it back into the right-of-way if we wanted to continue on there. But I am going to try to explore to see whether open cutting it might be a cheaper option. The only thing what we don't have going for us right now is obviously time, with us getting the modification with DCO. The grant, the current grant ending date is June 30th. So the way we had it set up was we wanted the contractor to get at least $100,000 worth of material stored and or work completed by mid-June, so we could get the request in to request the $100,000 in funds. Actually, you got 25% of it. We just got to get the rest of it, and then the rest of the work could get completed. Even if it went past the 30th, it wasn't a big deal. The biggest part was just getting the money. So we got a couple routes. I think at this point, I'd like to at least explore and see whether there is a, through Stenstrom to see if it would be cheaper to try to open cut it, and if it would, see what kind of savings that would be, and bring it back to you. I'm not sure whether 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 it's, if we wanna change the method, whether we wanna negotiate something with them and award the contract, or whether, if we reject them and rebid, then we're gonna probably be left with, going to DCO and see if we can get a, grant extension, which they've been granting us all this time when they have not been, reappropriating the money. If they do give us the extension, then we just gotta hope that they reappropriate the grant funds into the next fiscal year budget.
Question for you, Matt.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
What was the reason for, because I'm assuming this isn't, Stenstrom probably isn't set up to do this. So are you referring to pulling and fusing?
That's what we bid on. We bid on.
So is Stenstrom capable to pull and fuse? Or
no,
are they gonna have to contract this out?
More than likely, I think all the bidders probably had a subcontractor lined up to do the,
Okay, so
to do the direction.
where did the pull and fuse come from besides versus open cutting?
I was just saying that, when I was originally working up my estimate, I didn't think there was much difference in the cost when I worked up my estimates, and stuff for the project. So, just keep it in the right of way.
Okay.
It was really, the best way to go was to do the directional boring, but
Because
I think we might wanna take a look and see what I wanna find out is whether it might be, some cost savings if we would try to open cut it.
Okay, so, because I'm assuming with it being a 12-inch, are they actual directional boring or are they pulling?
Well, the directional boring is the pulling.
Okay.
You do the pilot hole and then you're pulling the pipe back through.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Because, yes, that's quite expensive.
Yep.
So,
The other thing to this is Scandia's portion, though I gave him a cost estimate, which is what we received from Willett Hoffman, on what it would cost to put that fire hydrant under 241 and at their
Thank you.
entrance. This is higher than the original estimate, so
Thank you.
35,000, right?
Thank you.
I think it was 35 or 36 is what the original price was, and it's another 8,500 more. So I haven't shared this with him.
Because we'd still need to know if he's.
We still need to, that's why, at a minimum, I think we just need to wait to at least run down to see see if we can find ways to either reduce the cost and/or, the thing with the reducing of the cost is really just gonna be on the village's portion. To get the pipe across the road, there's really no other methods, ways to do it to get across the road. I can't really, unfortunately, save anything on Scandia's side. It's really just gonna be on the village's side.
Well, and the other thing I have is, obviously this is a benefit to Scandia, but it's also just preparing us for the future, and I don't see a benefit in doing this overall unless we go all the way to the village limit. I don't wanna stop at Rolling Meadows' driveway
Right,
or Scandia's driveway.
Right.
I
I
agree.
think it needs to go to,
That's what we always have.
All the way to the property
Yeah.
line.
All right,
yes, which is the alternate bid 1, which
Right.
is 349.
Oh, I agree 100%. We need to get to the property line that way. That next piece of property to the south is developable.
Right, but
So this is almost doubled, from the 206 to $350,000.
Oh, 315.
207.
Oh, 349, well, 349, 579, right?
Well, the 207 just,
Oh, you said
the
here.
207 just got us to the entrance. The alternate
Total.
bid,
It's 315.
Yeah.
the alternate bid cost was 243,575 was the alternate bid, if we did the base plus the alternate.
Matt, what was the last time you talked to the state about the grant?
It was probably here in the last, Dan Luce's been helping me with the modification, so it's been in the last month, yes,
Okay.
yes. Because we had to get the
They know that we were going to bid on this.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Yeah, because we were trying to, the scope of the work was actually take the utilities north,
Right.
and we wanted to change the scope to
No,
go south, yes.
And our part only went up 50.
So will they be able to get that information about the open cutting back to you by next week's committee meeting, or no?
I would hope they would be able to, yes. And I'm still trying to reach out to get a hold of Rolling Meadows as well.
How much cheaper is it for the alternate method of construction?
It's not.
What do you mean? why is he asking if it's not cheap?
Well, I wanna find out whether it is or isn't.
Are you talking about the alternate bid or?
No, no.
the
No,
alternate-
open,
Yeah.
open cut versus
Yeah.
bore.
I wanted to see whether the open cut is a cheaper alternative in this case, you know. If it, in the right-of-way, I didn't think it was going to be because we've just got limited right-of-way in the state right-of-way. We got existing utilities that we're working, along, so I'm not sure whether it's gonna be a cheaper alternative or not, but I wanna at least evaluate it, with the contractor. It might be cheaper if we can work with Rolling Meadows and put the water main, say, behind the right-of-way. That way, we're not really working up against any utilities. We're away from the state right-of-way. It gets us away from, you know, some of the restoration costs, maybe even some of the traffic control costs, because we're gonna really be out of the state right-of-way completely, so,
Well,
and I may even talk to Ken when I am able to touch base with them to see if they'd be receptive to, you know, putting the water main, say, 10 foot behind the right-of-way. Then we're really not dealing with the IDOT, at least down to the entrance. We'll still have to get in the right-of-way for the alternate, bid portion of it, but, at least for a 2/3 to 3/4 of the project, we'd really be working off the right-of-way.
I guess the two questions I have is, one, obviously now I think we need to wait to see what he gets an answer from Senstrom about the possibility of open cutting it. And then two, are we gonna offer up that price to Scandia, the $43,424.55, to put that hydrant under the road? And if they say no, do we even do the project?
I think we need to go to Scandia first.
Yeah, 'cause I can't,
I'll get in touch.
yeah, 'cause you might as well, because I can't really do anything about that cost. I mean,
Sure.
there's really no other method to getting across the road.
At this point, I would do it. It opens up more developable land for us.
so then, I was gonna ask too, when you,
Regardless of whether they want, because all that fire hydrant's gonna do for them is lower their insurance. And that's why it would be their portion. If they choose not to do it, I think we should still do it and get to that parcel of land out there. It gives us more development opportunities.
and so then I was wondering too, like, how much, are we, I mean, and this is just a wondering comment, as far as when we talk, as far as Rolling Meadows goes, what, the cooperation with regards to how that would end up being, 'cause I know they have some issues with our water thoughts about what we'd like to do, and they don't agree with us on what we propose to them. So then I wonder how cooperative they'll be in this respect, or whether that'll be I'm just thinking forward.
Matt had asked if we would contact them, and I had asked Matt to take care of that.
Okay. Because that's the thing, I'm just like, in thinking forward and
Mhm.
being proactive when you're actually, speaking with them, I would venture to say that I'd be curious to see if his response comes back of, well, you know what, we can do that if this. And so I just, yeah, just as, I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna probably try to sell it with Ken that I know he's connected on the north end with the water, but, you know, if we get that all the way to the south village limits line, they could have a secondary connection into their system potentially.
They could loop it. That way they're only shutting off certain spots if something happens.
Yeah.
If Scandia agreed to the 35 or 36 already?
He gave me a verbal commitment for the most part. But he wanted to know how to proceed forward, and I told him that we needed to wait until bid opening because I can't guarantee that price. I said it might go down or might go up.
Right, but, I mean, as long as he's willing to that price, if the village picks up the rest, then you're still not out $43,000,
Right.
if you were going to do it anyway.
Well, we just wouldn't do that portion of it.
You wouldn't go with the fire hydrant across the street, even if he picked up 36,000?
Well, if he picks it up, yeah.
No, not the whole thing, 36.
Yeah, what if he agreed to the
We'll see.
36?
Yeah, that's gonna be a decision for the whole board.
Right, no, but I'm saying, in my opinion, that if you were going to do it all the way to the end, and you were going to add the fire hydrant, which would seem smart, and it would be on their side of the road if they wanted to hook up later, then and he wasn't willing to go to the 43, then as long as he's willing to do the 36, then the village could possibly...
I would normally agree with you, but I would wait until after everything's all said and done, not to
That's true.
not to tip our
That's
hand
true.
on our position.
Yeah. Hopefully he's not listening.
So clearly it needs to go on the committee. Okay, for next
I'll
week.
move it to the committee.
If we get an answer, I would also suggest maybe we move it to a special meeting to get the project rolling.
I just
Absolutely, 'cause
will-
time is critical.
I will need to know by Friday afternoon
Yes,
at
I'm
the
aware.
absolute latest.
Okay,
I'm aware.
yep. I'm hoping to touch base with Doug tomorrow, and hopefully I can get ahold of Ken even tomorrow too.
Actually, I would say do it anyways, so that way, if we don't even have the answer, we still have the option to move on this.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Thanks, Matt.
Sorry to make you come out.
No, that's okay, that's okay.
Easier
And-
if you'd answer the question.
Oh, no. When we got situations when the project costs are over, I need to be here to answer questions and explain the reasons why, so.
Yeah, I'm all for going to the village limit, not stopping short, so.
Yep.
I agree.
It'll burn us in 8 years or something.
Later on, we'll be talking about why we didn't when it was
Exactly.
every time.
We still have that argument over other properties. All right, anything further from the board members? Anything further from public? Jason, can't leave without your name. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Jen makes a motion to adjourn, Jared seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned at 7:47.